you want deep transformation for yourself, for the world in 2026, I'm so glad you're here, because this year the universe is offering us some pretty amazing support to help make those transformations happen. Once every 60 years, the universe sends particular energy that is very good for clearing karmas, for shifting and clearing old family patterns that are not helpful, or clearing historical traumas. Our teacher, Master Chunyi Lin, the founder of Spring Forest Qigong, he received a mantra, a chant, to bring into this year to help us work with the challenges that are also part of 2026 and also activate this incredible healing opportunity. The chant goes like this. R-O-H. And I put the words in the title of this video. And you may have noticed already, that's an unusual chant. It's a little bit hard to wrap your mind around what the words are, how to pronounce them, how to feel comfortable with them. It took me a minute to feel comfortable with it. And with practice, once I did, this chant has become one of my best friends for this year, to really flow with the year, to have a tool to ride with the challenges, and a way to be of deep service. So I would love for this chant to be your best friend as we welcome the year of the fire horse. And so I'm going to break it down. I'm going to full on share every place where I got hung up learning this chant, because each of those places and each of the technical things that I had to work through in doing that pointed me also to where the healing power of this chant is. And I want for you to be able to access that as well, to not write this off as some like random, hard to pronounce thing that one could do. Okay? So this is for you. And I offer it from my heart to yours. So I'm going to just take a moment to pause, because it really is a transmission of feeling above all else. And I have such gratitude for my teacher, Master Lin, and the lineage of teachers that preceded and follow. Thank you for taking this moment to connect with me. And I'm on purpose keeping this video kind of low tech, because it is about feeling. So I'm using little cue cards rather than fancy edits. My first thought for us is to feel it. This is the most important in all the chanting. What do you feel? Everything I'm sharing is largely derived from my own feeling and the revelation of the process of what I've felt and noticed. So your feeling is more important than any technical thing that I share. I'm going to just share lots of refinements that I found for my tongue and the mouth, but don't let that break your joy if your joy is somewhere else. And I mean that. So here's a great, teaching story that I heard from my teacher about a monk wandering the countryside looking for a good teacher. He found a farmer's hut, and there was like a rainbow type of aura over this hut. And the monk thought, oh, here is a real enlightened person that will be my teacher. So he goes in, he's welcomed in. The farmer, shares a meal, is willing to share about his life, and he explains that he chants the 6-word chant. This is a very common chant. Many people know it, but the way the farmer was doing this chant was really different. Like the words came out differently. Maybe even the tune was a little wrong. And the monk kind of scoffed at him and said, that's not how you do it. Everybody knows it's done this other way. And that reaction went straight to the farmer's heart and put in so much doubt that rainbow aura around his house disappeared. So nothing that I say I wish to be taken in a way to break the wise wisdom that is coming up in your heart. All right. So, but here we're going to get to it. First thing I want to talk about is the vowels. So this chant is mostly vowels. Singing, we love to add the even an om, that it just gets us vibrating. It makes the vowels open more easily. We don't have any of that in this chant. There's no time when we close our lips or touch the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. It is never closed, and we never have the support of that vowel or those kind of resonant sounds to help us find the resonance in this chant. We're going to have to find it another way, but it's making us work to start. Another thing about these vowels, so her, r, o, her, there's a lot of that's an E. So the E I think of as a sound that moves in this direction. And that E is a long E, is a short E. So it's going to kind of keep us a little narrowed in, a little bit more focused. And then we have two other sounds, an ah, which is ah. Ah is wonderful for the vertical axis. It can be actually one of the harder sounds to sing because it's so big to find that vertical. But we have the ah, and then we have o. This is really great for this axis, helping pinpoint a sound front to back. So it's sort of like we have labeled an X, Y, and Z axis with these vowels, the ah, and o. And we're starting to point where they intersect, which is going to be in the center of the head. Okay. So now I want to talk about the tongue. So while there's no resonant vowels, the the v, there is the R sound. And it's different from R in English or other languages. We're not rolling our R's. It's farther back. My professor of Chinese would describe that retroflex movement. So we're kind of getting the tongue to stick vertically up. And it's going to get all the vibration and air of our chanting. Now, to put our tongue pointing straight up, we are going to use a muscle called the palatoglossus muscle. And just a cool fun fact about that muscle, it connects directly to the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is this giant nerve that wanders all over your body and regulates your calming and resting reflex. So as we stimulate our tongue and move our tongue in that position, get it really vibrating with this chant, we are calming our body down in a really profound way. That muscle actually connects to another important part. So we're going to go into the section about the mouth. And in particular, I want to talk about the upper palate, the roof of the mouth. Often in Qigong practice, you may have heard us say to put the tip of the tongue behind the teeth at the front of the mouth. And this is because the front and the back energy channels connect by making that connect right there from the roof of the mouth and the tip of the tongue. There are actually 84 acupuncture points on the roof of the mouth. The back of the mouth, the soft part of the upper palate, really has the ability to lift. And the palatoglossus is able to lift it. Yawning is a great moment when we do that. So yawning now. Stretching the back of your mouth. That's what I mean by lifting the upper palate in the back. The sound of the chant is going to stimulate us to do this. And if I often found at the beginning, particularly, that I would notice I would get tired or fatigued as I'm kind of building the strength to keep the upper palate open, especially if I'm singing with this chant. So that's why I'm wanting to point out where it is and how to connect with it. Here's another little exercise related again to an exercise that could also soothe the vagus nerve. You can put the tip of the tongue behind the teeth at the front of the mouth, and then we're going to put the tongue up against the roof of the mouth with kind of a suction feeling as far back as you can. Can you get, how much of your tongue can you get to the roof of your mouth? I'm going to do that with you for a moment. That's really going to stretch the roof of the mouth open. So that's a great way to warm yourself up, to prepare to make this sound. We're preparing ourselves to have a big cavern in the center of our head to make the sound. So that's bringing me to the next section, talking about that space in the head. I'm just going to put all these thoughts that we've had so far together. We've had the vowels that kind of through the X, Y, and Z axis of the vowels, we're pointing at a center point in the head. We have the tongue, and the tongue is also affirming that the sound is back It's not read my lips in the front of your mouth. It's in the center of your head. It's kind of creating a part of the container for that cavern in your mouth. And the upper palate is lifting up, so it's a big, spacious cavern. Sometimes I think also about the cap on the roof of my head, also kind of buzzing with the sound. So we have all of this space open, especially, really we're opening that sound up into the upper dantian area, the place that's the third eye energy on the top of the head. We're getting that to really buzz. And we're going to have that buzz in a column all the way down to the heart. That gets its own card too, the heart. So even though I'm mentioning the heart last, it's where it all starts. The sound comes from the heart. And not just, with sincerity, though that is also part of it, but also really physically buzzing sound-wise, really involve the heart level as well. And I think the sound, her, we say that 3 times in this chant. That must be the most important sound in this chant because it's repeated so much. That can be a useful sound for coming down into your heart. Kind of just like going, huh, right? And then her. You can use that to settle and remind yourself, I'm going to be making a sound from the heart. Even like how similar heart and her sound to each other. So as we chant then, that there's a column, a big, wide, open column that is vibrating from the heart to the upper dantian, never closing for your lips, for your tongue, and vibrating open so that your heart is connecting with the universe. Your throat and intuition are opening. I notice my voice just gets stronger and stronger the more I chant this chant. The more easily my heart receives insight from the universe. And I can send that to other people. Feeling this chant can really penetrate deeply and help clear away where there's just like old wounds wrapped around a heart. Wounds you might think, I'm just never going to get rid of this. But this chant can really go in there and shift it. So these are all pointing to why this chant feels like such an enlightening and healing gift for this year. Master Lin suggests chanting it 49 times or 108 times every day. Before bed is a great time, or in the morning, really any time as you're doing anything is a great time to chant this chant. And you can chant it many different ways. If you know the tune for the 6-word chant, you could use that tune to chant this chant. It'll go like this. Even though there's 7 words, you can just kind of slip in that syllable. Go. Or you can just chant it in a monotone. Or even faster. There's so many wonderful ways to chant this chant that we're all discovering as we get to know this chant and share with each other. So thank you so much for listening. I hope this helps you. Please share it with someone else who could benefit from this chant to help make this year not just better, but surprisingly transformative and enlightening. May that be true for all of us and for our world. Thanks for being here. I send you all my love until next time. Bye for now.